paint. So we think we're a defensive team, and we're third in total rebounds, so the rebounding is there as well. But we know we got to be strong on both sides of the ball. And it was a great challenge, and then you got another one coming tonight, so just be ready for the game.
Coach, I know one of the reasons, amongst many reasons, why you wanted to bring Derrick Rose in here was his leadership and the way that he handles the young guys. How have you seen him work with a guy like Deuce to get him ready for more minutes?
Well, that's the great value in having Derrick. It's just he's a consummate pro. Whatever you ask him to do, he always puts the team first. He's a great veteran leader. I think he's helped all our guys. And whatever role you ask him to play for the team, he does it, and he excels in it.
But especially, though, when you look at that point guard position, obviously he has so much experience and skill, and he's such a special player. Have you seen him be able to translate that knowledge?
Yeah, I think that's, and again, it's the position, and I think he's done it with Jalen as well. Deuce has benefited greatly from it. I think Quick has as well. And he can help everyone because of all the things that he's also been through. So I think he's been an MVP type player. He's been a guy who's come off the bench. He's done it all in this league, and he's done it well.
Tom, Deuce isn't necessarily like a big point guard. He's pretty physical. What do you see in him that allows him kind of to overcome the height and length?
He's real long. Like you look at wingspan, and that's a huge asset for him. Toughness, anticipation, great feet, strength, all those things. Very, very competitive. High IQ in terms of reading the game, and he's a multiple effort guy. He's going to give you more than one effort on every play.
How have you seen him progress defensively since he first started playing, as he's kind of gained familiarity?
Yeah, I think again a big part of that is the trial and error of going through games and situations and learning the league. I think as you go through it now, your second time, third time around, you're more familiar with the players, the teams, the schemes, what each team's trying to do, and I think he's a great student of the game. So he's and just the way he works, he's going to get better and better.
As you mentioned, the defensive numbers you guys have had. Still, as you narrow this rotation, it seems like defensive-minded guys are a priority. Is that something you're trying to get more consistency with that?
I think every player has different strengths and weaknesses, and then it's how the group functions together. So I think you're looking at all those factors, what's going to make one group, and you want to try to cover up whatever weaknesses you might have. But everyone has strengths. Play to your strengths, cover up your weaknesses. But I think putting guys out there that fit what we need is the important thing.
Nothing is permanent, but just given your history with Derrick, Chicago, obviously, Minnesota, did that make it any more difficult to make the decision that you made?
No, I like I said, I talk to him all the time, and he's done just about everything for me. And I know who he is as a person, as a player, and whatever you ask him to do, he's willing to do. He's the epitome of team first. His willingness to sacrifice for everyone. He's always had that trait, whether he was the MVP. He's been in other situations where he didn't play a lot. He's handled everything great, and he'll stay ready. The one thing I know is I can count on him, and whenever he's called upon, he'll be ready to go.
When you have a guy like McBride or Quickley or whoever else who can kind of fight a screen and kind of head over a screen, pick and roll, whatever kind of screen, and execute properly, how does that affect the guy on the back end of that action disproportionately? Like, how does that affect a Mitch or something?
Well, again, it's reading the screen. Where is it occurring? Getting up, not getting hit, making contact with your man, squaring the ball up so we get big out of there. And the faster we can square it up, the quicker we can get the low man out of there. And then everyone has to read the ball, and everyone has to be tied together. So we all have to help each other. But as you know, it's a transition league. It's a control league. It's what it's become. And so there's going to be 60 pick and rolls in a game. You have to be ready to do it time and time again. And sometimes you can do it great and they still can make. Other times you can make more of a commitment, put 2 onto the ball, and you got to fly around. And when the ball's shot, you got to challenge, and then you got to get to bodies. So the rebounding piece is important as well.
Is that unusual to have guys that you Grimes quickly and you can probably have young guys like that all season be willing to work that like the way you went around pick and rolls, staying with their man and getting fighting through them?
Well, it's one of the things that we liked about them coming out of college, and I think where the league is going, you want to put a premium on that, and the shooting piece is obviously critical, but also the makeup of the toughness part of it, the competitive part of it, all that is huge.
Tom, with your rotation now, you don't have one player over 30 years old, and I think only one player, Julius, over 26. Is that how do you feel about that? Are you comfortable with the young?
Yeah, you guys probably get wrapped up in that more than I do, and I know it's trendy in the league. To me, whether you're young, old, doesn't really matter. Guys, how does it fit together? How does it work together? Can we get out there and play hard and smart and together? Those are the things that you want to evaluate. I like the way our young guys work. I knew when we got them from the very first day, you could see it. You could see it in practice. You could see how they approach things. You could see how competitive they are. So usually those are the characteristics that drive achievement. Like when you look at how competitive a guy is, what's their work ethic like? What's their toughness like? What's their mental quickness like? What's their, you look at all those in tandem. What are the things that drive achievement, and they fit the bill?
Tom, you talked a little bit about Reddish yesterday too. Now there's a report that he, the Knicks are working with his people to facilitate a trade. You have to speak with them about that at all? Or?
That would be a Leon question. No, like we talk to the players all the time. So, but just be ready.
You've had with Evan and I'm sure with Derrick, guys that are veterans who have not complained as this has happened. Is that something you expect, or?
I expect everyone to be professional and put the team first. Yeah, that is an expectation. I know it's not easy. We're asking everyone to sacrifice, and as I mentioned yesterday, for some guys it's not starting. Some guys maybe they're not in the rotation, and that's not easy. But you have to determine, you have to settle on a rotation, and so it doesn't mean it's that way forever. Things can change very quickly in this league, and they often do.
I hope this is not a Leon question, but
It is.
let's say, as a coach, would it be easier for you? Would you like to see guys facilitated to clear up that glut for you?
No, I mean, these are all the challenges that I think every team has during the course of the season. And so sometimes it's resolved. It might be injury, it could be foul trouble, whatever it might be. But the whole idea is to move the group forward together. And so what gives us the best chance to move forward together successfully? So you have to make some tough decisions along the way. But everyone has to understand that they are important, and they're an important part of the team. And that's, the one thing I know, for example, with Derrick, if he's not in there, I know he's helping the team. And that's an expectation that I have for everyone.
All right. Thanks, Tips.
Yep.
Yeah.